I want you to see how far technology has come in this country. Damn, that's really crazy. This isn't a car you'll find on the market anytime soon, but it does give us an idea of what cars could end up being like in 2036 or maybe in 2046. Noelia is already in love with this car. Shavi, I'm coming down, you know? What?
打开。
As of today, it's no secret that China has become one of the most dominant forces in the automotive industry. In fact, this country not only has the largest automotive market on the planet, but it has also become the biggest car exporter in the world. That's why, as of today, China represents 35% of the global automotive market, which means that 1 out of every 3 cars sold worldwide is Chinese. And Latin America is no exception. Just take Mexico as an example. In the year 2025, more than 300,000 Chinese cars were sold in our country, which represents 19% of the national market, or 1 out of every 5 cars sold. But the most impressive thing is not the quantity, but the speed at which they have grown. The thing is, until just a few years ago, Chinese cars practically didn't exist in the Latin American market. And today they are competing with some of the most important brands in human history. But to understand how this extraordinary change happened, today we are at the largest car exhibition in the world. Welcome to Auto China 2026. It's 9:40 in the morning and we're arriving at the Beijing International Exhibition Center, which is just 2 kilometers from the airport. And I understand that not just anyone can get in today. It's not open to the general public, but we received an invitation from BAIC, one of the most important automotive companies in this country. I have my QR code so we can get in today while it's not crowded. In the next few days, this place will be packed. Because it's only held once every 2 years, Auto China has a world-class automotive event every year, but they alternate. One is in Beijing and the other is in Shanghai, but this one has more tradition because it's been held since 1990. And what started as a small project or a national showcase has now become the largest automotive exhibition on the entire planet. We're getting to the bike pavilion, which is the brand that invited us, and to get here we really had to walk a lot, because everything. Keep in mind that this place has around 380,000 square meters of surface area, 17 pavilions, and about 1,400 cars from 21 different countries. Before we start our exploration and show you all the models, let me give you a little bit of context about the brand. The name BAIC comes from the initials of Beijing Automotive Industry Corporation, and its Chinese name is made up of 2 characters, Bei from Beijing and Qi meaning car, which together make the name Bei Bike. This company was founded in 1958, and at that time it was very common for brands to have the name of the city and the industry they were dedicated to. Therefore, if we translated the name literally, it would be Beijing Automobiles. This is one of the most important companies in the country, and every year it produces around 1 million new cars. So today we're going to walk through all these stands. There are a lot of them, so we'd better start now because we have a lot to see. The theme of this exhibition is the future of intelligence. That's why it doesn't seem strange to me that they have a robot receptionist who helps you with the basic information you need to start your exploration. But if she's very busy, you can also come and talk to the virtual assistant behind me. All you have to do is scan the QR code and it gives you the information you need about the different brands. You're supposed to come to a car show, but you end up seeing some extraordinary things. Oh, that scared me. Hi, Luca.
At your service.
Can you please introduce a little bit about the China Auto Show?
The 2026 Beijing International Automotive Exhibition Auto China 2026 is one of the most important auto shows in the world, held biannually in Beijing. This year's event showcases cutting-edge automotive technologies, new energy vehicles, intelligent driving systems, and futuristic concept cars from global and domestic brands. As a key platform for innovation and collaboration, it highlights the industry's shift toward electrification, intelligence, and sustainability. Big Group is proudly presenting its latest models and tech breakthroughs here.
Let's start our tour with one of BAIC's brands. Known as ArcFox, this was founded in 2016 as a premium vehicle brand. And today we're going to see one of its most recent launches, and its name is the ArcFox S3. This car is a medium-sized sedan. Very nice, it's completely electric, and it went on the market, so we're having a unique opportunity to see the cars of the future. Because what is in China today eventually reaches Europe, Latin America, and all over the world. And I'm surprised because this car greeted me with a massage. I sat down and in a second I started feeling a massage in the seat. All this part here, it started to warm up, and now I feel as if they're giving me a massage from the lumbar area to the upper part of my back. And for me, since I'm a fan of massage chairs and I suffer a lot from back pain, this would be phenomenal. With the huge screen that the car has here, you could play a full movie. In fact, it even comes with the Chinese app for movies known as IQIYI. We are subscribed, but from this screen, you practically control the car.
As a family, if you're tall, like 1.90 m, if you get in the car, you should feel it. That's the size of our front row. Are all these seats like this? Wind and massage functions with our top model. With our intelligent assistant, the driver can use city-level NV high-speed navigation, including features like scene recognition, patrol car detection, and so on. The electric car is a pure electric version, and this is the electric version. The pure electric model has a battery life of at least 560, and the long-range version has 660 plus. There's an electric version. We are with this, the Ninja era, and now, at that time, this kind of electric station, there are almost 1,300. And then it is expected that in a few years, in 2026 or 2027, it will be built. If it is built in China, there will be more than 1,000, and then the electric version has a battery life of 535.
What's very interesting about this car is that from here you can control both the windows and the angle at which the trunk opens. So here you can decide how much you want the trunk to open. Should it open fully, or do you want it to open only halfway? I asked him, why would someone want to control the height at which the trunk opens? He said, you're 1.90 meters tall, so it's helpful for you to open it fully, but others might prefer to open it less, like when it's raining, it's great. Also, this model has different driving modes. There is comfort, sport, custom mode for slippery roads, if you want maximum battery saving, if you want the steering wheel a bit softer, if it's standard, or if it's like a sports car. Another very useful function is that you can customize the car depending on the user. For example, if I open the door, the seat moves back so that I fit perfectly, and if Noelia opens it, it will be adjusted to her height. That is phenomenal for a couple like us. For a full charge, it takes half an hour. If you are going to charge from 30 to 18 minutes are enough for your 500-something kilometers of range. Now you can choose different types of batteries, but don't worry, because regardless of the version you choose, this car can charge from 30 to 80 in just 18 minutes. Of course, for that you need a fast charger and the conditions have to be optimal. But even if you charge it slowly, between 6 and 7 hours the battery will be full. At the same time, there is another version that allows you to change the battery instead of having to recharge it. The only thing you have to do is put it in the station. The crane lifts your car, changes the battery, and in just 99 seconds you can leave with a completely full battery. This eliminates charging anxiety. You don't have to worry about whether you'll have to stop to charge or not. But as I tell you today, the cars in this country charge so fast that it's practically not a concern anymore. To begin with, you have to know that in addition to consumer cars at this exhibition, you can also find concept cars like the one behind me. So suddenly you feel like you're in the supersonic age, and look at this wonder here. This is not a car that you'll find on the market anytime soon. But it does give us an idea of what cars might end up being 2036 or maybe in 2046 if we don't already have flying cars. And Noelia just tried one.
Yesterday, I got into an air taxi for the first time, which is more like a drone than a car. But it's an amazing experience because suddenly you're flying and you realize you have absolutely no control over anything. Here in China, the first thing they always take care of is safety, and that's why I surrendered to the experience. But, well, that's just one example of what we can find in this country nowadays, and what we have back here is another one. It's kind of like the Joker's limousine, isn't it?
The Futuristic Joker's limousine, have you noticed yet?
The screen there on the glass is amazing, totally futuristic.
And look, notice that it no longer has a driver's cabin. It's a fully autonomous car, it doesn't need any driver. Now that we came to the next brand, which is Estelato, we got swarmed by a horde of paparazzi and journalists. I don't know who my buddy is, but he must be someone important in the industry or maybe someone famous, and they're not afraid of anything. If you don't move, they'll take you with them, like the guy who just passed with his selfie stick. And if you saw where Noelia is standing recording, you'd freak out, taking advantage of the fact that all the journalists are busy over there with the TV star or whoever it is. Let me introduce you to the Estelato brand, which I find very interesting because it's a collaboration with Huawei. Noelia has already fallen in love with this car. What did you think of it now that you've finally seen it?
I was fascinated from the moment I saw it with the pink carpet, so beautiful on the outside. What a lovely car. It really caught my attention. Also, because it looks super elegant, it's definitely a car I would love to have. I mean, if there's a car for an elegant woman, it's this one. Also, look at the details in the headlights. It looks like it has little stars or glitter or diamonds. No way, right? If it's beautiful on the outside, on the inside it's gorgeous. Hey, it's a very unique car. I've never seen anything so pretty. It makes me feel like a princess.
Yeah, I can see that big smile. You finally look super happy. Would you say this is your dream car?
Right now, this is my dream car. Just look at the steering wheel, how beautiful it is. They really paid attention to the details. The silver color looks amazing in contrast with the burgundy leather on the steering wheel. Also, I see that it has a Huawei sound system, which is what we mentioned before, that this car is a collaboration with Huawei. If one day you don't have any money left in your bank account, don't be surprised, haha.
And you've already bought your car. The name of this little car is S9T, and it has some exceptional features, for example, in its most basic version. To charge it from 30 to 80, you only need 15 minutes with a fast charger. On the other hand, from 0 to 100, it would take you 40 minutes with the same charger, which is really impressive. But the best part is that this is a car for trips. That's why the name S9T means S9 Tour. If I had to say what it feels like to sit here, it's like being an ultra-secret, ultra-elegant person. Hair S9T, weapons S9 James. Describe yourself. No.
Do you know who I felt like? Mirage from The Incredibles, right? It's Mirage's car. This woman is elegant.
This car not only comes with
a giant screen here so you can watch your movies in high definition, but it also has another one here in case that's not enough.
In case you want to watch something else or listen to different music, here you can download the apps you need, probably games too. And something I really liked is that it has a footrest. Other than that, you already know that these cars always come with a fast wireless charger. You just put your phone here and it charges. It has a sunroof. And it has a very important feature that I've never seen before in another car, which is that it has a projector in the back.
In this car, you can have a date. Can you imagine Luis Miguel playing in this car? I really like that the design is consistent both in the bodywork and the interior, as well as in the screen interface. If you look, it's not just that the car is floating there, it's like it's on a kind of lake with a reflection. You can click on different parts of the car and then it shows you what function you can perform on that part of the car. With the touchscreen, you can select how much you want to lower your window. For example, here we're going to lower it to 42%. There it is. It happens on the screen.
In real life too, let's see Noelia's. Let's lower the window here. Look, you want to lower it to there it is. You want to raise it all the way up. There it is. You can control how far open all your windows are, not just this one. Yes, I absolutely want it. I need it. Now the question, Furphy, is which one do you like more? The S9T, which is the S9 Tour,
or the S9 that's over there? The difference is that this one is a sedan.
I feel like this one looks much more like a business car, but it's still just as elegant or even more so. Look at the rear view mirrors. They're screens that fit perfectly. It doesn't have mirrors, it has cameras that are right in front of you, which makes it safer because you don't have to turn to the sides to check the mirrors. You can also adjust them right here. It's a camera, that's it. No more worrying about broken mirrors, nothing blocking your view. Here, what you have is a high-quality camera that you can see perfectly, and you don't have to worry about anything obstructing your view. On the inside, it's still just as luxurious. I love the burgundy color, which contrasts with the silver details. The seat is extremely comfortable. And I was noticing that these cars have a system that keeps the air inside pure and clean, so you can make sure you're in healthy conditions at all times. It notifies you. And what about when I'm human? This car has me really impressed. It's almost blowing my mind because you can control it with your voice. But not only that, the back part darkens and it practically turns into a movie theater. In fact, it has its own projector, and this seat back here, look, it turns into a bed.
I'm telling you, it's the perfect car for a romantic night.
Shawi, where is it? Put down the rear screen, okay? Oh! Wow. I told him to turn on the back screen and it lowered by itself. I can't believe we've reached this point. Today's technology is crazy.
Me dijo el representante de ventas que me salga y me va a enseñar algo interesante. A lo mejor ya me quiere correr. A ver, vamos a ver qué me enseña. Se llama Kuna.
3, 2, 1.
Oh! What? Did you see that? My buddy's got powers. I want you to see how far technology has come in this country. Wow. That's crazy. I already have Jedi powers and everything. Now close it, close it.
This car has more cool modes and features than any other invention I've ever seen in my life.
And now you're going to close it the same way, with the power of your mind. Get in the car, press the brake, concentrate. And there it is.
I wasn't expecting that.
I have to say that being here awakens all my capitalist desires. And suddenly I think, how can I generate more income to have one of these? And would that be for paranoia? And I really want one, but look, just look at it. Right there in front, these exhibitions are amazing. You come to see cars and end up seeing robot pandas.
Well, let's go ahead and change cars now, because I'm sure we're missing out on a lot of features. Cool too, right?
I don't want to change cars anymore. I want to look at these beauties.
Me neither, but there has to be something even cooler in this room. I mean, we're just getting started.
Now we've come across something you'll only be able to see in China, maybe in the United States, which are autonomous cars, or robotaxis as they're called here. The one behind me is a T5 level 4. What does level 4 mean? Within the autonomous car industry, there are 4 levels that classify cars by their ability to drive without human assistance. Level 1, as you might imagine, is the most basic and gives you a certain type of assistance. For example, it maintains acceleration, it has lane keeping assistance, which is very useful. Have you ever started to feel sleepy on the highway? It helped us a lot, but the driver is still the one in control of the car at all times. Let's say you can't take your eyes off this one for even a second. On the other hand, there's level 2, which is combined assistance. These cars can accelerate, brake, and stay in the same lane, but the driver has to keep their hands on the wheel at all times. Which is very good, but it's nothing compared to level 3. And that's because at level 3, which is known as conditional autonomy, the cars are already capable of driving completely on their own without human assistance. But this has to be in controlled situations, for example, slow traffic on the highway, empty areas, or zones designated specifically for this type of testing. And finally, we have level 4, which is high autonomy. These cars are practically capable of driving themselves in any situation. However, this can only be done in specially designated areas, and not all cities have one. Fortunately, we live in Shenzhen, where there is one of the largest zones in the country, but there are also many in other cities. They have testing zones in cities like Wuhan and the capital Beijing, among others. In fact, in these cities, this type of car can already be used as robotaxis, and you can order them through common ride-hailing platforms. And they're very good, plus they're quite affordable. But let's go so I can show you what makes them so special. If you notice, this car has a complete system of cameras and sensors on top. In fact, it has 34 specialized sensors that help it recognize its surroundings and prevent it from having an accident. The thing is, these types of cars are not yet for sale to the general public. Instead, they're sold to robotaxi companies or to businesses that are authorized to do so. We can't go inside, but I can show you the camera system that surrounds it, which is quite complex. Up here it has another system of radars and cameras that give it an omnidirectional view, so you won't have any problems. We've already had the chance to try them out, and I have to say they're impressive. I think we're going to be able to get in.
That you had to get in as passengers?
Yeah, I already saw that you can't get in the driver's seat. Look, no. These cars are basically saying humans aren't very reliable, don't let them get behind the wheel. And this isn't strange at all when you get into a robotaxi in Shenzhen. Normally the steering wheel is locked. This doesn't mean it's useless. If the steering wheel is there, it's because it's fully functional, but for safety it's locked. Now, something I'm not seeing here is that when you're in a robotaxi, they usually have a help button because there could be a situation where manual control is needed. And normally robotaxis have a little panic button and they provide you with the necessary assistance. I don't know if they can control the car remotely, but I had to use it once and it works perfectly. It's amazing what we're seeing in this country. As you can see, this is a minimalist design. It's focused on transportation services like robotaxis. And they have everything you need to be comfortable, relaxed, and safe. And I'm sure that as the years go by, we're going to see more and more autonomous taxis until eventually they end up replacing regular taxis. Now, we've reached one of the most interesting parts of the event. Do you remember we told you we came by invitation from Bike, which is a Chinese company? Well, now we're going to tour the Mercedes-Benz stand because it turns out that in this country, Bike has a joint venture with Mercedes-Benz and Hyundai. And that's perfect because when Mercedes-Benz arrived in China in 1986, foreign brands were not allowed to manufacture and produce their cars within the country. Therefore, Mercedes-Benz partnered with BYD to produce and manufacture their cars within the domestic market and reach more people. And as a result, one of the most important alliances in this country emerged, known as Beijing-Benz, while Hyundai is called Beijing-Hyundai. And another interesting fact is that China is the largest market for Mercedes-Benz in the entire world. Basically, if they lost the Chinese market, they would get into big trouble. Does that make sense? This country has 1.4 billion people, and I have to say that people here like good things. And for a long time, German technology was seen as the pinnacle of the automotive industry. The truth is that there were Chinese engineers behind many of the projects that were produced in this country. Industria is proud to announce one of the most significant collaborations in China's automotive history. And that is the relationship between BYD and Hyundai, and this collaboration is very significant. Because when Hyundai arrived in the early 2000s, it was the first foreign brand to open a mass production plant in Beijing. From the beginning, this has been a 50-50 collaboration, and over the years they have produced some impressive models like the one we see behind me. This is a concept model. It's a futuristic model that you still can't buy today, but it's not the only one. Look, behind me we have another model that looks like it came from the future. Also, it introduces a concept that I haven't seen anywhere else, but I have no doubt it could work. They're virtual license plates. And even though the issue of the screen needing to stay on at all times would have to be addressed, I think it could end up being a pretty practical solution. In the case of a change of owner, or if you move to another state or to another country, in fact, it would be quite easy to change the license plate without having to apply for a physical plate. After having walked through some of the halls of this massive exhibition, I think we can conclude that the future is being written today in this country, but in Mandarin Chinese. That's why I always recommend that you learn the language, that you travel here, visit the exhibitions, and soak up the ideas that are emerging in this wonderful country. For now, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if one day you end up buying one of these wonderful cars, don't hesitate to write to us, don't hesitate to send us a photo and show it off, because we'll be very happy for you. So, that's it for now. See you in the next video. Bye bye, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching our video. Your support means the world to us. So if you loved what you saw, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more exciting content. We can't wait to share more with you.